What's up? It's me, Haley Jones, and this is the Big Orange Business Podcast. And today, I am here with some epic people from the Mabry-Hazen House. Patrick Hollis, who is the executive director, and we have Josh Loomis, who is the director of development. Okay, Mabry-Hazen House. If nobody knows what it is, give us the quick 30-second. What is it?
The House Museum had the same family that lived in it for 130 years, so it gives you an amazing kind of look into Knoxville history. We've got important stories about the Civil War and the New South and stories of emancipation. But we're also a house filled with soap operas. So we've got gunfights and a sex scandal in the history. So lots of good historical tea to spill.
That's awesome. Okay, anything to add to that?
Our last resident, Evelyn, saved everything from the family.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Normally visit historic house, they may have a few items, and it's things from the period or replicas.
Right.
For us, it's their stuff. It's
their
silverware, their books, their portraits, their
couches.
So rumor has it that collection it's one of the largest in the U.S., right?
Yes.
Original family collections.
Yeah, it's really rare for house museums to have that sort of extensive collection because pieces get bequeathed out to heirs and family members. In this case, there was no one to give it to.
Yeah.
So we're one of, I think, maybe it's 120 odd museums in the country, and there's almost 20,000 house museums in the country. Wow. So you're talking a very small percentage that can even make the claim of having an extensive collection.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's 2,500-ish pieces, right?
Roughly. That's on display.
Okay. On display.
Yes.
Okay, so of the things, give us your three, people have got to see this when they come.
Josh, you go first.
No pressure.
I would say two of our things we always show off is our have all this black furniture that's made of woven horsehair fabric.
Oh.
It's very fancy, professional, but very rare to have access to now.
Yeah.
Revival. It's gorgeous.
Oh, wow. What's it called?
Rococo Revival.
Rococo Revival. Okay. So you got to check that out when you come.
One of our oldest pieces is this pie crust carved folding table.
Okay.
That's from around the 1770s.
Wow.
It has these beautiful claw feet. It's the oldest piece we have in our collection. Probably our most highly valued.
Possibly.
I feel some dissension is going.
No. It's one of those pieces. It's difficult to provenance because it's a beautiful piece, but it doesn't have a maker's mark on it.
Oh, so I see.
Some difficulties in actually being able to confidently identify it.
Got it. Okay. And then what's one other thing people should check out or see?
The Tennessee marble fireplaces are really a very unique feature of the house.
Yeah.
They're some of the oldest in the country. It's a huge part of Knoxville history is the marble industry. It's why we'll call it the Marble City. So you can come see those beautiful fireplaces. Some of my favorite objects include the Knoxville Social Register of 1934. It's a pretty infamous document in history because Evelyn, she credited by suing her former fiance of 15 years, which we'll get into a little bit. She committed a pretty severe social sin and was removed from the social register. And we have that edition she's removed from. It's probably her mother's, but it's in the house.
Wait, what would a social? So what would that be? What is a social?
It's
edition.
It's a book, a register of individuals that met the proper social status to be listed in the book. So it's your name, often your phone number, what clubs, your organizations, your education are all listed in there.
Oh, wow.
And a committee is actually formed, and they will vet who is of proper standing to be listed within it.
That's
so
cool.
It's like a who's book.
Fancy. That's cool. Okay, so the house was built in 1857, right? We are in 2025. What is something that's the same 1875, 2025?
Or
1857, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what's the what
what would be a similarity? And then I feel because there's so many obviously differences. Like, what would be something that's like similar? Think like, we think history like repeats itself or whatever.
I mean, there's so much the way that we create personal space, the way
Yeah.
that we identify rooms in our houses and apply purpose to them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very kind of like a lofty, but that's the same.
Yeah.
It is also something we're familiar with. Some of the technologies, while seemingly you think that that these would be much newer, it's things like central heating in the house, which came around the 1890s. You get a bathroom in the house around the 1890s.
Yeah.
So there are aspects of the home that we find quite familiar.
Yeah.
In that context. So.
Cool. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about like the mission of Mabry-Hazen.
Mm-hmm.
So, tell us the importance of Mabry-Hazen as it comes to Knoxville. Obviously, it's you preserve and you educate. So, what are some of the main missions and goals when we talk about Mabry-Hazen?
Say, our primary goal is to preserve and share the 130 plus years of history of the home and everyone who both lived, worked, and was connected to the house.
Yeah.
So that includes the family that was there for 3 generations. It includes enslaved people who lived in the home, who worked in the house, domestic servants who were there. And our goal is to both preserve all this artifacts and all the stories, but to also continually research, find out more, and then educate and share those details with the community.
Yeah.
That history is the story of how we've gotten to where we are. It helps explain why we are the place that we are. I think people are naturally kind of inclined to having stories to explain the world they're in.
Yeah.
They want to be able to understand. And when you don't know the history fully, because history is usually complicated, it can get hidden, it can be hard to find, you'll kind of make up a story to make sense of things for you. And that can be inaccurate, it can misguide you in what you're trying to do, where you want your city or your community to move in a direction. So being able to have the history to really delve into it can really help clear up those misconceptions and better orient us into the way we want to move forward into the future.
Yeah. So what do you think it is that preserved this house? Like, how did we get this?
This one is actually a pretty easy answer because it's Evelyn Hazen. So,
That's her.
Yeah, so when she died in 1987, she left 2 options for the homeowner death.
Yeah.
So she didn't have any immediate family that she could give it to in a will because she didn't have children. Neither of her sisters had children. But when she died, she understood the kind of the cultural value, but also the financial value of her family's stuff in the house.
Yeah.
And so she said either everything in the home is to be sold, the proceeds given to the Humane Society, and the house is destroyed.
Oh.
Or the other option was turn it into a museum.
Wow.
And so the option to turn it into a museum was pursued by her executors of her will, Judge Howard Bozeman and Lucille Levante, and they were able to form a nonprofit that now preserves this site and 3 other historic structures in about 10 acres and are near 8,000 objects.
Wow. So besides the house, there's also.
So we've got the current building that we're in. This is a 1924 little Craftsman that we, have rehabilitated and used for rentals, private meetings, other sorts of functions like that. We've got a 1930s little Craftsman bungalow behind us that belonged to the person's daughter that lived here.
Yeah.
And then we also preserve Bethel Cemetery, Knoxville's Confederate Cemetery.
Okay. Which I didn't realize that we were kind of mentioning this earlier, but I didn't realize there's something like 1,600 soldiers buried in that cemetery.
Yes.
I mean, I never even, as a Knoxville native, I'm sure I sound like a dum-dum, but I didn't even know that even existed.
No, you did not. That's not, that your ignorance there is not, it doesn't make you dumb at all. Because it's like, it's easy to overlook. It's in, there's actually 4 historic cemeteries down there. So it's a whole necropolis.
Wow.
So the historic Catholic cemeteries down there, the Potter's Field, as well as Oddfellows Cemetery.
Yeah.
Oddfellows is I think a really great and important cemetery. It's where Cal Johnson is buried.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So.
Very cool. So when it comes to what you guys offer for the community, what are programs that happen at Mabry-Hazen? What are things people should know? Like, tell us about that.
We offer a lot of diverse programming throughout the year.
Yeah.
So we have programs that are oriented towards adults and those that are lifelong learners. We've got programs that are oriented towards kids. We do, rated R tours for those that want to learn about the graphic details of the house. We have a Ride Like a Lady program, so you can come bring your family and watch side saddle riders and demonstrate how women got into the kind of horse culture.
Oh.
We do a big Dusk in the Dogwoods. It's a 1920s garden party here. That's our big fundraiser.
Yeah.
We've got our massive 4th of July event. We've got some really great Juneteenth and 8th of August Day programming that describes the way that enslaved people that we found connected to Mabry-Hazen House found their personal freedom.
Yeah.
And then one of our most popular programs would be our Victorian Seance experience, where we interpret American spiritualism and do seance reenactments inside the house. So you get to
Is it scary?
It's spooky, but not scary.
Wait, what's the difference?
So it's not, I mean...
It's meant to be more unsettling than like a jump scare.
Got it. Okay.
Right. And
Okay.
I mean, and it's also to kind of take away disarm people's ideas about spiritualism, because you think talking to ghosts and all of a sudden you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But for Victorians, it was a really, it became this kind of very popular movement as a way to connect with lost loved ones, for those that didn't necessarily find themselves within the pews of traditional religion, but still want to remain faithful and spiritual. It was a way for them to connect. And so it's a religion that still exists today and influences a lot of ideas around kind of personal connections to energy, things like Reiki or tarot. Any of that definitely finds influences within the spiritualist movement.
Okay, and when does that happen?
So that starts in 1848, and it reached kind of the height of its popularity in like about 1900, and then it's kind of sideshow-ized, is I guess a perfect way to say it, by the 1920s.
Got it. Okay. And then when you do that event, when is the event?
That one's for Halloween.
Okay.
So
I just missed it.
I know.
Our next event will be Candlelight Christmas Tours.
Okay.
That'll be December 12th and 13th in the evening. Your Friday and Saturday.
And is that a family event? What happens there?
That's a family event. Our docents are in historic dress and will guide you through the home and have a different person at each spot to explain some Victorian Christmas traditions, what Christmas will look like to the house. Whole house is decorated, so it's a lot of fun just to learn a bit about the origins of Christmas and how it's changed.
Like Christmas cards find their origins in the Victorian era, and we've actually got over 500 Christmas cards that were sent to the family from about 1890 until the 1980s. And so we'll have those on display. We'll be talking about those Christmas practices. There's so many of our traditions, from the Christmas tree to many of our carols to the night before Christmas, all find their origins in that time period.
All those traditions are newer than the houses.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which is interesting. Yeah.
I kind of think of those things as always being part of Christmas. Christmas feels like a very locked in thing.
Right.
It's very new.
Yeah. Right.
Well, even just to say the cards were like up to 1980 is like recent, you know, so that's interesting. Okay, as you're telling me about all these artifacts, this is probably a dumb question, but like, where do you keep all this stuff? Is it all in the house, or is there a warehouse?
We do have an archive.
Okay.
So one of the rooms over there in our caretaker's cottage is used as an archive space. That's where most of our textiles, many of our paper documents, books, other sorts of more delicate objects, photographs are preserved and stored. Yeah. And then the bottom floor of the house, where the original slave quarters were, and the kitchen was where we, for many years, furniture pieces were stored. Okay. So we're in the active process of opening up those spaces. So we're trying to find new places to store some of them. Yeah, someone. So it's a real challenge trying to be able to ensure that we have these, proper places, that they are maintained and that they can come back out for future generations, but also being able to have available those spaces that were, actively lived in, and have a really, powerful and I think important story to tell in those spaces.
When people visit Mabry-Hazen, what's one of their like biggest takeaways? Like, what's something that you hear most often when people visit?
These tours are very informative. Yeah.
I think a lot of people are surprised about how exciting the history is here.
Yes.
We have the 1882 gunfight on Gay Street.
Okay, yeah. Tell us some of the juicy stuff.
So yeah.
Without us, enough that it's like we need to go visit. So, but yeah.
So yeah, as Josh was talking about, there's the infamous gunfight on Gay Street, where Mabry, his eldest son, and their rival all shoot and kill each other in an OK Corral style shootout in the middle of banking hours on October 19th, 1882. We have a story about a man named Wiley Mabry who bought himself in 1863 from Joseph Mabry, which is a pretty extraordinary story. Yeah. We've got We've got Evelyn's ill-fated 15-year love affair with Ralph Sheringhouse, where they got engaged during the fervor of World War One. Ralph convinced Evelyn they needed to go ahead and have their wedding night, and then he never gave her her wedding day. And so tagged her along until 32 when he broke up with her.
Oh.
Evelyn didn't take it well, so first thought about murdering Ralph, then decided the better route was to sue him, and sued him for breach of promise to marry and seduction, and won the lawsuit. But it comes at a cost for her social reputation.
Okay, so that's how she.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so she comes back more or less with a scarlet letter on her chest and was shunned by many in Knoxville for her unladylike activities.
She seems like.
Oh, she's feisty.
Yeah.
She's a real pistol.
Yeah.
She's fascinating.
Yeah, that is really cool. Well, even just for her to say, here's your options with the property.
Yeah.
You can do this or you can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's a testament to her whole personality. She's always had this kind of sense of like fiery ultimatum about her. It's like, it's either my way or not.
Yeah. Where did she get that? Like, do you think?
From her grandfather. I don't know. I don't know. I think for her, when she was a young girl, she was known to be very intelligent. She's ambitious. She's strong-willed. But I think she's a woman that is really confined by the gender expectations of her time.
Oh, yeah.
And so as this woman, a young girl that's brought up in a traditional Victorian home, yet she is now growing up in an era when there are greater opportunities for women and what they can pursue. So she's got this one kind of more traditional idea of like, I'm supposed to be a housewife. But then there's the other part of her that I think felt very compelled that she wanted to be somebody.
Right.
We actually have her report card from when she went to East Tennessee Female Institute, and our teacher remarked on there. She said, "If Evelyn is a born leader, and if she were a boy, she'd be governor of Tennessee." So, they could see even at a young age the kind of ambitions and potential of her. Yet again, it's like, she's a girl. We can't even imagine her being, we can imagine her being governor, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So she was the only child, like the final child, or?
She's the youngest of three. So she has two older sisters, but they're older by 14 and 12 years.
A lot. Okay.
So big age gap.
Yeah.
And, it does create this pretty significant generational difference.
Right. So she just truly ended up as like the last person.
Yeah. So she, her sisters don't have children, and so she's, nearing the end of her life, there's no heirs. There's no one to give this house to give all these things to. And I think she felt, she just recognized, like, she felt her family was important in the development of Knoxville, and she's not wrong there.
Right.
And wanted to be able to preserve the home in some fashion.
What do you think, like, her favorite artifacts would be?
Pictures of her favorite cat, Terry.
Yeah, okay, Terry. No, honestly, the glassware.
Glassware.
Yeah, she was a collector. She loved glassware. So we have like tons of different styles of glassware.
Yeah.
Pressed pattern glass, lusterware.
Yeah.
Rookwood, Amberina, all these glasswares that I didn't know anything about until I started working.
Yeah. Wow, that is cool. Wait, and then she had a cat, Terry.
Yeah.
Terry was her favorite cat. Terry lived here in the 1950s and 60s. In 1962, Evelyn took a full roll of film of just Terry in the house.
Yeah.
So we have all those photos. That's kind of the end of our tour. You see all the photos of Terry, kind of examples of something that hasn't changed that much. People love their pets and love taking photos of them.
Yeah. Well, also it's interesting. I was curious because you said she, said the whatever stuff would go to the Humane Society. So I was curious, like the connection of animals there with her.
So she always loved animals. We've actually got some really great photographs of her as like she's maybe 8 or so. She's sitting with kittens and these puppies in the early spring. It looks like 1905. From the type of photography. But anyway, by the end of her life, Evelyn is kind of known as an eccentric up here. She is living here mostly alone. She is a long-time renter. The house is, it's falling apart. She's unwilling to let others maintain it. She had money for it. It's just she didn't trust people.
Yeah.
So what happened?
What happened? Yeah.
But she's also living up here. She's got like 15, 20 cats. There's dogs all over the front porch. There's guinea hens in the tree. At one point, a cow escaped from the Lay's packing plant, which is made its way over here. Evelyn saw it, fell in love, and adopted it. And when the Lay's officials came to try and retrieve it, she basically was like, No. And so for several years, there's stories around here in the Morningside neighborhood of like just this random cow running around and chasing people.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. So she was a very, I think she found animals to be unjudgmental, or at least true in their judgment.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of this, stems back to that really traumatic experience of going through this, toxic, manipulating relationship, and then having to put that out in public.
Right?
Because we could all, I'm sure we all have that heartbreak, that relationship that really left some scars. But to have that then like put out on a national, and it went viral for like the 1930s. Like it's reported on in 34 different states.
What?
Including like I can't remember, it's like New York Daily. I can't remember the name of the paper, but that paper had like 2 million subscribers. That one, and so she, her entire story, all those graphic details of her youth, and she's talking about sex acts. And so to do this in the 30s as a woman, was really was a trailblazer.
Yeah.
It's not because she wants to.
Yeah.
It's because she feels a desire to be vindicated for what she was wrong with. Yeah.
So, that is fascinating that it went out to so many. Like so that's a normal thing. Like cities just had a social registry.
Yeah, I think so. The first ones originated in New York City. It's kind of it was a reaction to like the feud going on between, I think it was the Astors and the Vanderbilts.
Okay.
Like this is like the 1880s. And so, it was a book to determine the proper people of society.
Yeah.
And so just about every city would eventually have one. And they've evolved into what we probably recognize as the Who's Who's books.
Yeah, okay.
But those you can pay to be into, where in that time it was, you could pay to get into. But it was also, there was a committee that it was established to be like, these are the people that, if you need to know, this is the social register.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what made this family like socialites or important? Like, what was it?
Honestly, generational wealth.
But
Joseph Mabry is a very influential man here in the city. He donated the land for Market Square in 1853 and then developed it into the commercial district we recognize today. There's a sketch in the 1850 Alderman's Minutes that is supposedly done by Mabry, and it's the sketch looks essentially like the modern Market Square.
Wow.
So it's, he envisioned that important commercial hub, but it's evolved more into now it's one of our cultural centers, our heartbeats there. Mabry helps develop here in East Knoxville. He's a real estate developer, so he's in this area, turning this into a new suburb of the city. He's one of the most influential political figures here in East Tennessee at that time. He started off a Democrat and then flipped over to a Republican when the power dynamics made sense, and then it became a Democrat again. But and then just his story, that legend of the gunfight on Gay Street, is one that really adds to the scruffiness of Knoxville. That really lends itself to that. And we can find all these amazing connections through the families, like Laura Mabry was a Churchwell. Yeah. Churchwells owned the Springdale plantation, which is over Central. That's Happy Hollow. Yeah. So like Springdale Avenue, Churchwell Street, those are named for them. You have the Hazens, and the Hazens own the Middlebrook plantation, which is Middlebrook Pike. So you can see how just through this one house we can kind of create all these amazing kind of connections through the web of history to help tell that fuller history through kind of this one place.
Yeah, what do you think like Joseph Mabry would say now about like Knoxville?
He'd be like, how can I make some money? I'm not kidding. That's
very entrepreneurial.
Yeah,
he's
highly entrepreneurial, highly ambitious.
He'd be starting a new AI startup here in Knoxville as fast as possible.
Or he'd be investing in it.
That is so cool. Well, we hear about history, but we don't really talk about like Knoxville history. So I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Just how much history is just in this home.
Right. Yeah. It's an amazing place. Like getting back to Mabry, it's like a place where you can talk about the promises and perils of development. It's a place where we can get at some of the bitter divisions of the Civil War, and then how and also the discrimination that many Black East Tennesseans have felt, especially here in East Knoxville, through the story of the Franklin family, which is a family we only recently learned about in the last year. They were formerly enslaved by the Mabrys, but the Franklins would gain their emancipation when the U.S. Army arrives here. Two of the sons serve in the U.S. Army. A couple of daughters work as nurses.
Yeah.
They're known around town after the war. They live in the bottom. So,
which is like where the baseball stadium.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have all these, I think really amazing stories that helps humanize the kind of the history of Knoxville too. That's another thing. People always think like history is about politics and generals and the legislative acts. That's those are important parts of the story we have to tell. But history is ultimately about people and how can we connect present day people to those past actors and use it as a point to understand our leisures, our issues, our challenges. Like that's one of the things we're trying to do here is not just help people understand the past. It's to also see how we got to this moment here and what can we learn from this moment to hopefully make better decisions as we in the future.
Right. So what does the future of Mabry-Hazen House look like? Are there like, I know it's the preservation obviously is, going to happen.
Yeah.
But
the vision is don't let the house don't let the house get destroyed. Actually, we are still bound by that. Like if we ever cease to be a museum, we are still legally bound to destroy the house if it's sold. Yeah. That's Evelyn's wishes, and that's
that's what we'll. Wow.
So I mean, it's a good thing to fundraise on.
Right. Yeah, totally. If you do not pay this, it's gonna be bold.
But I think for us, it's continuing to expand our programming and our capacity here.
Yeah.
We're a small staff. There's just 3 of us, and I'm the only full-time staff member here. So we'd love to be able to expand out what we do here, and the programming and our ways that we engage with our community through social media or outreach at schools or the farmers market. If you want to ask me like my pie in the sky vision is, I'd love to be able to have a visitor center up here, someplace that we could have permanent exhibitions in a space.
I think we live in a time period right now where a lot of information is online. It's becoming more and more unreliable, unsure of where information is coming from or the motives behind it. And museums have the benefit of being one of the most trusted institutions in the country. And so we get to be this independent resource of research and education and a place to preserve and share these stories that can be trusted, that we can spend the hard time getting into the adult documents, double checking things, finding the sources, and then compiling that into compelling stories and information for everyone at large. And, we want to be able to do more field trips. This might be one of the first times that students can come to a Civil War site and learn about that. See a place where people were enslaved and learn about that. I can see how rapidly things have changed. I think history really comes alive when you're in the house because you're seeing rooms as they were actually used and not just as exhibits. I think it really emphasizes with people that, we live in a very unique time to have seen things change so rapidly, and that there's still potential and possibility that we tend to overlook when we get just stuck in our day-to-day routines.
Yeah. So when you say, again, maybe a dumb question, but like an exhibit versus the room as it was used, like
we are exhibiting the rooms. Like we have just put them on a certain display, but we're thinking more of like some of the paper documents that we have, or some of the other kind of material culture items, like the art of we have tons of stuff like connected, like early UT history. We have all these things connected.
UT? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Evelyn's an early woman admitted to the university. She gets there in the 19-teens.
I gotta look this Evelyn lady up. I'm like, she seems
We're gonna send
amazing.
you home with a book, The Seduction of Miss Evelyn Hazen. So, but I'd love to be able to, display some of those in a controlled environment. Some of the things I can't put out just because of their fragility or their condition, or it's just a matter of like, there's some things that just you can't put up in a room. So
that makes sense.
So we'd like to do stuff.
I just think when most people think of going to a museum, people kind of get stuck on the idea that you're going and there'll be
it's
a big
like
display
stage
case,
or something.
and you'll kind of all be stage display case. You're reading little plaques, taking the information, and you're just quietly kind of looking through for an hour, and then you leave. We're here, we're going to guide you through the whole experience. You'll get to walk into the rooms, and it's far more lively and connected to the people that live there. That can really help you picture and see what their daily experience was like, instead of just reading about it and then seeing the item. We still, of course,
Yeah.
have displays and things on exhibit.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So if people want to visit, what should they do? Where should they go? Like, what's the best avenue for that?
Our website is
Yeah.
always great, mabry-hazen.com. You'll find our basic tour information there. We're open through Monday through Friday, with tours typically on the hour or at set times. So
Yeah.
check our website for that. We're very active on social media.
Yeah.
We love to share stories.
You guys even have a TikTok, I think.
Yes,
We
we
do.
do.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll probably do more with it next year.
Yeah. We're learning to use video. We're also artifacts too.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we are always good about announcing upcoming events,
Yeah.
and that's one of the best ways to get here. Like, we understand we have bank hours, like it can be
Yeah.
hard for locals
Yeah.
to come visit, but that's where we think our special programs offer unique ways to really
Right.
get to that house, and not just come see the house that one time, but to come back here and feel connected to this
Right.
to the place, and how its story is so important to what we see driving around or walking around our city today.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to do a field trip here, or school or whatever, like, what would that process be? Are there certain like offerings within a field trip, or like what does that look like?
So our field trips are really kind of Civil War focused.
Yeah.
And so a teacher can reach out to us and schedule those with us. They're very affordable.
Yeah.
And it's just, we do kind of life of a soldier, and then we do some stuff about what Victorian life, or what life was like during the Civil War for civilians.
Very cool.
So I dress up in Civil War clothes and I march the kids around.
Oh,
It's a lot of fun.
That's cool.
They made calling cards, so we
Okay.
some craft projects.
Yeah.
But yeah, just you can find the information on our website.
Cool.
Send us an email.
Yeah.
We can get something scheduled.
Awesome. Is there anything I haven't asked you about Mabry-Hazen that you're like, we gotta talk about this?
I think it's important that locals go to their local, cultural sites. I think one of the most common refrains we probably hear is, "I've lived here my entire life, but I've never been to this place."
Yeah, I mean, I've driven around and whatever, but
Yeah.
the history I just had no idea.
Yeah,
Like,
we want to encourage people to have their own little staycations, because when
Yeah.
you go out to another city so often, you'll go to those cultural sites, you'll visit the museums, you'll visit the arts
Right.
museums, you'll visit the historic houses, but then you don't do it in your own backyard.
yeah.
So
that's
coming out
true.
here is such a wonderful way, and I think we are, all of the arts and culture institutions here in the city add so much to what makes Knoxville unique and special, and but we so often sometimes don't see those people out there.
Right.
So trying to get more people to come out and visit us and see what we contribute and how you can help participate in making history here.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So come visit.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, we want to be a site that's educational, but also something that is enjoyable, something that will stick with you in your memory. That'll be something you'll want to return to, even just be a place you'll want to enjoy the outdoors for, the
Yeah.
events here, something
Right.
you look forward to, something unique you can't find somewhere else.
Totally. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I think that I just love the history of like Evelyn. I just think that I'm just
Evelyn's
like,
a
oh my
star.
god,
She's a star.
She just like, I'm like, she is awesome.
That's-
Well, yeah, okay, that's her. There's a picture of her up there. Well, because it reminds me kind of like the women that instigated the dogwood trails, of being like told like Knoxville's ugly, and they're
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah,
it's not.
No, it's not. Right.
No, it's not. So I just think I just love that, we're going to do it how we want to do it,
Mhm.
kind of vibe. But, okay, if people want to support Mabry-Hazen, like financially, is that a thing? Like, what does Mabry-Hazen need? I know we talked about like the preservation, but is that a thing where just go to your website? Like,
So we have a membership for the site. The
Mhm.
membership comes with free guided tours and early access to event tickets and other benefits. We have a quarterly newsletter we do out just for the members. And kind of some special, like whatever our newest research is, what we have going on,
Yeah,
cool
animals.
photos, animals
I
on
was
the
gonna say.
site. And so if you
Love
want
it.
to, the membership's very affordable and starts at $35 a person for the whole year.
Yes.
We do monthly as well. And it's a way to kind of encourage you to do something more local, as well as we have those events come up that you may already be discounted for.
that seance event,
The seance
mark your
event.
calendar.
That one sells
October.
out too.
Yeah, that one sells out. Members get early access. So they can pick
Okay.
the choice times.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that. So mostly I would encourage looking at the membership as a way of supporting the site, but also tying you into something fun and local
Right.
that you need to be a part of and
sure.
feel that connection to. And then we're always looking for companies that may want to sponsor our events. We have
Right.
hundreds of people up here for seances the 4th
Right.
of July, and It's a great intimate way for a company to be able to reach out, talk with
Totally.
local people, and show their support for local preservation
Right.
sites. So that's another great thing. And we're always happy to work with local businesses, have this space available for rentals and private events. There's lots to do here and a lot that then supports the preservation long term.
Very cool.
And then, visitation matters, word of mouth
Yeah.
matters. So that's, the financial stuff. And we do a lot of free programming up here.
Right.
So, and then the site's open sunrise to sunset just to come enjoy the beauty of Mabry's Hill.
Yeah, it is beautiful up here. I mean, you can see everything, but just the whole, that's beautiful. Thank y'all so
Yeah,
much.
thanks,
Okay,
Amy.
tell us the website one more time.
Mabry-Hazen.com.
Mabry-Hazen.com.
MABRYHAZN.com. No hyphen.
Perfect. Thank you guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
See y'all next time. Bye.